You are listening to the Mr. Smiley Gaming Podcast. Now, your host, Mr. Smiley.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Mr. Smiley, and thank you guys so much for coming and checking out this awesome podcast video here for you guys. Oh, yes, I'm going to start doing this every week. I'm going to have a really cool podcast thing, very motivational and fun stuff to just talk about and just to inspire you guys. Hopefully I can inspire somebody out there that is listening to this. If you guys are actually watching on YouTube, hi, how's it going? That's right, I'm actually on YouTube, so if you want to come and check over at the YouTube channel, my name is Mr. Smiley, and the link will be in the description and all that fun stuff. And if you're not listening or watching on YouTube, I'm actually going to be posting to like SoundCloud and all the fun sites over there, so it's going to be really cool as like a audio podcast. So it's really awesome. I'm going to go ahead and just jump into this one here. Like I said, I'm going to start doing some weekly motivational stuff. I seem to really inspire some people, especially like on my channel. A lot of people say they love to hear my voice and all that, so that's really cool. So I get really inspired to actually get to do like a motivational podcast. And so now, not only will you get to see me live when I'm doing my live streams and talking about stuff, but you can go back and now listen to me. So that's awesome. That's lots of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into this. I actually have been watching some motivational stuff, motivational videos. I love motivational videos. I guess that's where I get my positivity from. It's amazing. It's awesome. So, I'm actually, like I said, since I'm on YouTube, I've actually been growing so much on YouTube, and it's insane. You know, people can look at me now and just be like, wow, you know, despite what everybody says, you know, I felt like I've actually made somewhat of a mark so far, so it's really cool. I definitely can tell I'm not the same when I started. It was a while back when I started. It was pretty cool to see the growth, you know, from when I started to where I am now. And just how motivational I am. Like, so many people get inspired. And so that's what I try to tell you guys. You know, go out there and start something. Do something wild and fun. Because when I started, I didn't actually really picture myself to be super motivational. You know, like, I just wanted to start YouTube and doing videos and other stuff like that. Just because that, you know, I liked it. It was fun. That's my story, you know. And I've seen some other YouTubers and other people doing that. And I was like, you know, I could probably do something like that too. You know, I could probably make a mark in the world doing something, and it's kind of being more motivational. So, that's my thing. And if you guys are wondering how I get it and stuff too, I'm a big faith believer too. I'm a big Christian guy. Woo! All that fun stuff. But if you're not, I mean, hey, that's fine too. You guys can still come and get some of the inspiration that I get and all that. So, I'm just a very happy, bubbly type guy. You know, it just kind of, that's my take on that. I'm just a very happy guy, and people probably wonder why I'm so happy. And it's really just kind of boils down to, I'm just loving what I do. You know, I work at a job. I do my stuff over there, and I get a paycheck just like anybody else. And that's great and all. It's amazing. Like, I can pretty much go and work there for the rest of my life and, you know, be happy or whatever, but, you know, I want to do something that kind of stands out. I want to do something that is me. And it honestly, like, when I first started, I didn't really know what me is, you know, like now. I was just like, I'll just go into it and see what happens. And over the course of doing that, I've actually have found myself. I've actually got to make some really good friends. But that's another thing too, is if you're starting something, if you want to do anything, if you want to do YouTube, if you want to do podcasts, if you want to do whatever, there are going to be those people there that are not going to, you know, people that's not going to support you, people that's not going to, you know, kind of put you in that positive mindset all the time. And so even though I'm a positive person, I'm a positive pup, as I call it, arf, you know, I have people that, yeah, they don't support it. They look down on it. There's just going to be plenty of those people out there, you know. So even though I am a positive, I look at it that's what I want to put out into the world. You know, I want to have this positive outlook of me. I want to have this positiveness about me so that other people, it can rub off on other people and stuff, and to make them smile. And that's one of the reasons why I am called Mr. Smiley, is that I just want to make your day. I want to make some really, really cool memories and stuff, so it's really awesome. It's really cool. I still got a long journey. I still got a long way. I still have working on myself to do. I got lots of fun ideas that I'm going to be doing in the future. A lot of fun, crazy adventures that we're going to go on. But that's another thing, is that's just part of the journey. That's what I love about getting to do YouTube and streaming and all these other fun things. It's a journey. It's a huge journey, and I love it. And I can't preach it enough. If you've not actually gone and seen me on my live streams and all that too, you could probably go check that out too. Like I do stream on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. All of the links will be there in the description and all that fun stuff. So if you want to come over and check out all of that stuff there, it's just jam-packed with a lot of fun, motivational stuff like that too. That's one thing about me that some people say they like about me, is that, I don't normally rage quit on games. I get frustrated. It's just like anybody else. I get very frustrated out there. But another thing that happens is that I could turn a negative situation into a positive. Whatever it is I'm doing, I could be sitting there playing a game, talking to chat or whatever, and out of nowhere, it just turns into like this motivational thing. And that's what I went live last night, actually, and I was like, might as well just go ahead and hit record now, because what I'm doing now, it's pretty motivational. And a lot of people like it, and a lot of people just they like I said, they like to hear my voice. They like to hear how happy I am. And there's a lot of people that I've met in my life that, even though I've only talked to them for a little bit, they're just like, you have such a calming voice, you got such a happy voice, and that's what I want to make the difference about me. I want to put out something out there that's different from everybody else. Now, we're going to go into some other different topics and all that. The topic I'm going to kind of go on about now is, this is YouTube specific, because there's a lot of people that watch me on YouTube, and they're actually kind of wondering, like, how I got where I'm at now. Even though I'm like 216 the last time I checked subs, and there's some people that are kind of a little bit under me that, like, they're growing, or people that have more than me that, maybe they need some inspiration or advice, I guess you can say it. And I haven't even been in this game for so long. I've actually been doing YouTube. It was November of 2019 that I started. And I went through all of 2020. I took a break and all that. And then I came back into it. I think it was late 2020. And then here we are in 2021. And getting close to mid of the year. So I have some experience, not a whole lot. Luckily for me, though, I've actually been a DJ. That's one thing about me. I'm actually a DJ. I do weddings and fun stuff with my dad. And a lot of that was the MC part of me. So if you're wanting to do some stuff like for YouTube or anything like that, the advice for me for that is, to find something that makes you stand out. Find something that... you could put this with anything, literally anything you want to do. If you find something that is something that is different from other people, because I preach this probably enough when I'm live or just doing some stuff like this, is that, anybody can, like, for YouTube reasons, anybody can pick up a controller and do YouTube. They can play games, commentate on it. So you got to find a way that's going to make you stand out. For me, it's positivity. For me, it's like, being myself. And when I first started, I definitely was not myself. I was some crazy person that was just trying to make people laugh, and not saying that's a bad thing, but it was more or less the takeaway was I didn't really know what that was. So that's another thing, is if you're wanting to do something, if you're wanting to establish something and you don't know what that is yet, like you don't know what yourself is, like you don't know you, like I see me now, you have to just keep going out there, keep trying new things and establishing your zone. I guess that's one of the big things, is if you establish your zone, you establish what you're doing, what you're trying to preach, trying to put out in the world and all that, instead of just doing it, without a purpose. And that's fine. A lot of people that want to do YouTube, they just want to make videos. Just like, they don't want to get huge on it. They don't want to do things like that. But if you're looking at other things, like if you're wanting to start your own business, the business world out there, it's insane. If you want to do stuff like that, you have competition left and right, so, and from my experiences of being in the workforce and all that, everybody that you work for always wants to be a bigger competition, come up with new ideas and stuff. So that kind of comes back to that. Like, you got to find out some new ideas, don't be afraid to kind of, splurge around, see what's out there, see what you can do, see what your limitations are, and it's kind of crazy. I'll kind of tell a little bit too, of my takeaway on that and why I wanted to start doing YouTube and how it really kind of kicked off for 2021. So 2020 was a good year. 2020, I was establishing something. I was trying to go out and find myself doing videos, and I did more, I did more gaming content than anything. I did more just, series, and I'm gonna be getting back into that, but, I was just trying to find something there. I was trying to find my character, as you can say. So my character is me, my positivity guy, Mr. Smiley, and I was trying to find out, how do I want to establish Mr. Smiley? Do I want him to be this guy that's just really goofy, and all this other stuff? So that year, I kind of just went through and was like trying to find out what that was. So it was really cool. And then 2021 came, and I remember specifically the first day in 2021, I was literally just thinking too. I had my friend Mr. Jacob over here. He's my tech guy as well. So he was over here, and I was just thinking, taking a shower, like not taking it personal, but like I was just sitting there thinking, like, what, this year could be my year. This would be something that I could find what it is I'm really meant to do. And it's and I'm just like, I'm just gonna throw everything at it. I'm just gonna like screw everything. I'm just throwing it all out there. And I'm going to really try and test my limitations. Sorry if I'm screaming into Mr. Mike here. I'm going to try my limitations and see what works and see what doesn't. And we kind of did that 2020. We did some tournaments and other stuff like that were like, oh yeah, we're super excited for it. And a lot of that stuff didn't work. So it kind of like brought us back down. And that's one of those life barriers that you just got to overcome. So maybe you have a good idea, and you're trying to establish a good idea of something, and it may not work. And I'll get into that later. So my brain is all over the place, so I tend to ramble. So to go back on my other point, 2021, I started it out, like I said, I'm going to try it. I'm going to just try some new stuff. And I really, really got into the more live streams more than anything. And I remember when I first started doing live streams, this was in 2019, 2020, I did live streams, not really on YouTube, but mainly on like Facebook and Twitch. I did some stuff, random stuff. I just went live, and my family and all that mainly were the ones that came and was like, oh, nice, congrats. And it was a little all over the place. I can go back and watch some of my videos now. It's insane, and that's all part of it. You just grow with it. So as I went on and tried to find something, out of it, like what I wanted to do, I had to come up with new ideas and all that, yada, yada. So anyways, 2021 comes along, and I start live streaming again, but I take it to the next level, and I make it to where I can go live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Like, I have a thing. It's called Streamlabs. If you're not familiar with it, you can look it up. It's really, really nice. If you know what Streamlabs is, then hey, you're one step ahead than other people if you're really looking into streaming and stuff. But I use Streamlabs OBS, really, really amazing. And that's how I'm actually able to record my video that's on YouTube right now. So it's really amazing. And I started getting into it, diving into it, and doing the premium membership. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. All my Star Wars people out there probably know where that reference comes from. Do it. So that's the motivation there. Just do it. Just do it. Just go. Have fun with it. So I started doing that and really wanted to progress in that. I really wanted to progress myself and to find out what it is that I wanted to do. And it was really, really cool because actually when I started doing the whole live streaming and all the other fun things like that, it really, really did come... it was late 2020. and then early 2021 when it really started picking up. So late 2020 is when I started doing the whole live stream stuff. And I remember back when it was like Halloween, we did a big stream on that. And I got so many people that came and joined. It was on Halloween Day 2020. And that's when things started to kind of like look up a little bit, because now I'm starting to get all these other people, all of these really, really nice, amazing people from all around the world that even if they just come for a second, say hi, and then bye, or if they come and follow and just be like, yeah, that's awesome. I always love to give the recognition to people out there. So once that really started kind of picking up and all that, 2021 comes around, and now I'm like, okay, now we got to take that to the next level. And I really, really started diving into the reaction videos. That's when all of those really started. Started doing more reaction videos, and I remember when my first ever reaction video, I think it was like my second or third video on the channel on YouTube. So it was an NF song I did. It was amazing, and I was not experienced in it. I was still very young, and that's the takeaways. Yeah, you're gonna start something and give it all you got. Yeah, you may not be the best, and actually, I will say you won't be the best when you start. So, some people get lucky with it, I guess. I don't know. I sure wasn't. I just drove into there like saying, I'm not going to look right now. I'm going to look in the future. So, and that's another thing I'm going to get to. But to continue on with what I was saying, going into 2021. Everything, when I started doing the reaction videos and trying other things, it started picking up. It started being really amazing, and so I started meeting more and more new people, and now I got a pretty decent follow base of 216 people on YouTube. Facebook, I got like over 200 people on there. Twitch, I got 72, I think it was the last one I checked. And it's just because you just got to keep going. You just keep throwing yourself out there to the world, and just being creative. So it doesn't take it like overnight, like a week. Sometimes it'll take a couple months. But I literally saw how, right towards the end of 2020, I was getting to 100 subs, and that took me like over a year and a half. I think it was a year and a couple months to get 100 subs. So if you're starting out, don't get discouraged that, hey, I'm not jumping off and as quick as I wanted to be, because I sure didn't, and I'm still growing on things every day, trying this out now. This is something new that I wanted to do, and everybody just loves my motivational stuff, so I was like, hey, here you go, it's gonna be amazing. So you have to have that mindset too, so as I went and going into 2021, I was already a little over 100, and then just a couple months later I hit 200. And just a couple months, like this like literally, the fourth month already in March, and here I am at 200, when just a couple months ago I was at 100. So, and again, it's not bragging, it's just showing that like maybe the first year and a couple months, it may be kind of sluggish. You're still trying to figure out what you're trying to do. And again, this is all on YouTube, but you can do this with anything. You have to give it a good year. Give it a good year to really analyze stuff, because you may, like when you start, you may look at the things of like when you're starting, you're like, I'm at my best potential right now, and that's usually not how it goes, because I wasn't like that, obviously, because when I started, I was like, I had that same mindset. I'm like, oh yeah, this is good, everything I'm doing now, I like it. But I wasn't satisfied. I just wanted to keep diving in. And now I go back, and not too long ago, I watched an old video of me and doing, it was Modern Warfare and the campaign on there. And like, I was like, what is this? Who are you? Like, this is not me. And to me, that was normal. Like everything I was doing there, I was like, okay, I feel like this is how I'm going to be. And I'm like, man, I totally forgot that I did stuff like that. And it's just like, man, you have no idea, like within a year from then, you get so much more in like pronouncing stuff. I'm still not the best at it, but that's just been my whole life. Never been the best at pronouncing stuff. So don't sit there and criticize yourself if you're not doing something perfect. I don't believe in perfect. I don't believe in stuff being exactly the way that it needs to be, perfectly. People can get stuff really, really good, yeah. But yeah, if you sit there and just practice it, then yeah, you can sit there and make some really good progress. But anyways, there was a thing I heard of, speaking of which, for that, the thing that I heard was practice makes progress. I think that's what it was. Practice makes progress. So you ever heard the saying, practice makes perfect? But really, it's just a matter of like, you just gotta just put in the practice to go to the next step, So if you're ever feeling discouraged and all these other things, even though I can't pronounce it, it's just part of it. You got the roadblocks, like I was mentioning earlier. So the roadblocks are going to be there, the setbacks. I remember the other day, I was trying to get some videos done and all that, though, and then so much came, and I was getting set back, and I wasn't, producing so much, and I got sick even, and I wasn't able to put out the videos that I wanted to for it was over a week. It was bad. I was like, oh my goodness, if I'm not producing videos in that amount of time, something's up. So, but everybody stayed in there. They're just like, hope you get to feeling better and all that, though. The little small community I have now, I look at it as a very positive thing that they believe in me, and that's what gets to me. It's insane. Even now, people that believe in me, that say, you could do this, you're amazing, I love what you do, all these other fun things. It really, really does affect me, in a good way, and anybody, and it's like that self-reward thing that you get, that you're doing something good, you're doing something right. And I just love to just sit there sometimes, I meditate and stuff like that, and I just love to just think about what I'm doing and how I'm affecting people, and that's my whole goal. I just want to make more people happy. There's so many other YouTubers out there, and I have lots of inspirations, other big YouTubers that's out there. And, I can be like them all day long, but will I get any progress from it? Probably not. Because they own that lane. So and I say this a bunch of times too. So if you're doing something and you're like, oh, somebody else is doing it, maybe you're looking at me and you want to be like me one day. You're like, oh man, Mr. Smiley over here, he's amazing. I want to be like him one day. There's nothing wrong with that. There's just you have to kind of come up with your own style though, Use that as inspiration. So you look at other people, my favorite YouTubers out there, I look at them as inspiration. I look at them as saying, hey, they did something. They came from nothing, and made something out of it, which is so cool. It's so cool just to think about and just to watch them, and my favorite YouTuber is Jacksepticeye. I've said this so many times on my channels, but if you're new here, yes, excuse me, I drank some tea earlier, so yeah. Mr. Jacksepticeye, salutes to him. I've watched him not from the very, very beginning, but pretty much out there, a couple years that I've watched him. And I recently did a video on reacting to his old videos and fun stuff, and you can just see how people grow. It's insane. But anyways, you look at that as an inspiration, that everybody out there that has made it successful, that has done something big, they had to start somewhere too, and I'm sure people get preached that a lot, but just to remind you guys that I'm not actually preaching to you, I'm preaching to myself. You guys are just happening to listen to it. I said that the other night too, and it kind of stuck, because that's the truth, is everything I'm saying here, I'm actually talking to myself. I can see myself on camera, and I'm the only one in this room right now. But you guys are here physically, or not physically, but you're here with me, you're listening. So hopefully that kind of rubs off on you guys too, that I'm not preaching to you guys. I'm actually just talking to myself, and you guys just happen to hear it. So that's amazing. That's a good little thing that I like to do when it comes to motivational stuff all the time. I want to just kind of, just make more people just want to go out and do something. It's insane. Because when I started, like I said, I didn't know where it was going to go. I didn't know what I wanted to do right off the bat. I was just and I've mentioned this story before too, but I'll tell it again, or I'll tell it on here. When I first started to do YouTube, way before Mr. Smiley, the first day, the first video, in fact, that's on the channel. I remember I was working at a job. I was a janitor, and it was only like a couple hours a day, but it was every single day, and then I had the rest of the day to do whatever. I had a lot of free time, and I was like, I love gaming. I don't want to game all the time. I want to put something with that. I want to be able to let my gaming make something out of something, instead of just gaming, I could record myself gaming, So I remember laying in bed, and I was about to take a nap. I was tired, and that's without roadblock. It's those setbacks that you could say, I could just do it tomorrow. Or, I'm not feeling the greatest today. But if you say that to yourself every day, then it's never going to get done. And yes, that's talking to me. That if I just sit there all the time until I make the decision just to do it, just see where it goes. Maybe if it goes somewhere, awesome. If it doesn't go anywhere, at least you tried. At least you have tried something to put progress towards something. So I remember I was just laying there in bed, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, I was thinking about what I wanted to do, and I was like, I want a game, but I don't know exactly how I'm going to interpret it. So let me just do this. And the first thing, and I know everybody kind of knows, the only thing that I really thought of at the time was Jacksepticeye. He's a very goofy guy. He's very energetic and stuff. And so I was like, I'm gonna try to be like that, but I'm not trying to copy him. I just wanted to have that energy, because I'm already energetic. I have ADHD, if you guys didn't know. So I'm always hyper. I'm hyperactive, person that I'm just running around. And so I'm like, I want to use that energy. Like, I'm weird as it is. Anybody that knows me knows me. So I was like, maybe somebody, other people that I'm with, I tend to make them laugh in a way. Sometimes they're laughing at me instead of with me, but still, that's, making them happy. So I was like, maybe I could do that for something. So I literally started as I went into my room, put on the dressiest nice shirt that I could find, and I was like, now I'm just kind of like, whatever I want to wear, whatever, I want to produce for people to see what I'm doing, whatever the setting is. So I literally was like, I'm just going to grab this here, and I had a backdrop and stuff. It wasn't the greatest, I literally was just like thinking of all these other YouTubers. I was like, oh man, well, they got backdrops, so maybe I should do a backdrop, right? And honestly, the room at the time was hot pink for my sister that used to live here. So I was like, maybe I don't need to put all this stuff, in the background on camera, because it may look goofy and all that. And I want to kind of just make people focus on the game rather than what's in the background, And I kept thinking like too much of just like, oh man, maybe people may like this, or I don't know if they'll like. But the takeaway is just do it, have it, things can change over time. But you always want to be yourself, because if you're not yourself, then, things may go crazy and haywire, and you may not, you're not going to be who you are, and you're not going to enjoy that. So even if you do make massive success, you're not always going to stay that way. People really do show their true colors. So why not just go ahead, just be yourself like you are on a normal basis. And if people like you for that, then that they're going to like you for that all the time, and maybe not all the time, but people do change. But they're going to like you for you, and not just this mask that you put on to make yourself look cool and try to fit in with other people. And I was doing that. I was like, I'm going to put this backdrop up. And it was only one video that I did that. And I was like, okay, well, so every time I do a video now, I gotta put this backdrop up. And it was just like, I took a quilt, and I think it's the quilt that's in the backdrop on the door there, and we put that on there. I was the only one here at the house. I was like, I'm just gonna take my time to set this up, even if it's for every video. It's the dedication I'm gonna put in on every video, even if it takes like 20 minutes before I can even start recording. I'm just gonna make this backdrop happen. And I recorded it, and I can't remember. It was like the most poorest quality because the way the lighting was or something, and it looked fine to me. I was like, hey, there we go, first one. And the first thing I did was I wanted to be funny, and the first thing I said was, hey, you with the funny face. Oh wait, that's me, and just something that was my first ever thing to ever say on the Mr. Smiley channel. Like, I've had other channels before, and I've reacted to those. You can go check those out. That was fun, just doing random mess. And I remember the night before that I actually set up everything to do the actual first video, I was actually literally trying to record the first video. and my buddy Alex, my graphics designer, was here. And he was actually working on some stuff. I can't remember what exactly it was, but he was here and he was just hanging out. And we talked about like, hey, let's do a YouTube channel, and I'm just gonna be gaming. And that was more or less the theme for the channel. It was gonna be a gaming specifically channel, because again, there's other channels out there that do gaming, and I'm like, hey, well, I can fit in just fine with that. And so that's where that happened. And then I remember I could not get a sentence out. I would mess something up. I would mess something up, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta pause and then restart and then re-say the whole thing over again. I made a script of what to say, but I'm more better at freelancing. I'm better at just like filling whatever's on my mind, telling whatever it is, instead of reading off a paper of like what to say. I kind of take whatever, if I have to read something off, I'll take it, make sure I get the message out, and put it in my own ways. That's just how creative I am. So, excuse me, good grief. So I could not get it out. I sat there over 30 minutes trying to make a 5-minute, 3-minute long video, and I'm like, man, I can't get this out. Maybe I'll try again tomorrow. Those barriers, you just got to keep going at it. Maybe sometimes you do. Maybe you'll work so hard on one thing, and sometimes a good night's rest and to make you more refreshed will help the next day. That helps. That does help. That's what I think. So don't overwork yourself, but be determined not to give up. That's the big thing. However long it takes you, don't give up, because you never know where it'll take you to. So the next day, boom, I do the thing. I do the first video, and I did the same thing again. I was like, I could not get the video out. I listened to music to try to calm my mind of like, okay, get motivated. Let's do this. Like, what can we do here? How let's go, just to get the welcome video out. Like, it was insane. And I kept on, like, started it, messing up, stopping it. And then finally, I was like, you know what? I was going to go with it. I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to just say whatever's on my mind. I'm just going to tell the key things about what the channel is going to be about, and then just go with it, And so I remember when I did that, sorry, brain fart. When I did that, I didn't pause it. I just kept going. I just kept on just sitting there. If I messed up, pause for a second. Don't stop the video, but just go back in and then finish what I was saying. Like, even if it's like all chopped up, like I say it here and then I go back and then, well, I did the first beginning there pretty good. Maybe I can just continue it and just cut it up into different takes and put it all as one video. And I did that, and then I'm like, no, I'm super confident now. Let's do it all in one go. And I think I tried doing that, and then I messed up again. But see, that's the thing. Sometimes it usually takes me a couple tries. Like, you got to get warmed up a little bit, Like, that's the thing is, once you start doing something like this, the first try, even if it's a regular video, may not be the best. So you got to get warmed up, Maybe do like a practice take of like how it's going to be, and then try to get your vocals going of like what you're going to say. Then boom, usually like trying to record something 2 or 3 times, and usually the third time is the one, And so here I am doing a podcast now. It's already like 30 minutes long of just nonstop, like not cut up or anything, just talking. And it's because I've trained myself to be like, just speak what's on your mind. Don't think too much on it. Because sometimes that can trick you. Sometimes like that, like I have brain farts and stuff, and then I'm like, oh, quit farting up there. You're making everything stinky. But yeah, and then just be myself doing that. Like, I used to not want to do that. I used to not want to be this crazy goofy guy that when I would do stuff like that, I could quit farting up there. Like I thought that was just too much. But that's me, and I was holding back on so much. Like, it's insane. And so I was like, I don't know. But over time, and what really, really made it really start, that I really wanted to be able to be like a character of myself. I remember when I live streamed Assassin's Creed Black Flag. That was one of the funnest games that I've played on Assassin's Creed. Black Flag, and I live streamed it. So this is when I started diving into this year of doing the live streams, doing some fun things like that in the first couple months of this year. And I did Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and I was just routine of doing it every week. And that's what I try to do. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm live streaming, or something like that. You got to be repetitive on it, and just find what you're doing, So, what I did was, since I was playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag, I was like, you know what, I want to be a pirate. So I want to go into the old game and be like a pirate and be like, "Arr, guys," and sometimes I'll think of Mr. Krabs off of SpongeBob. SpongeBob, or something like that. It's just something very funny and goofy, that people could laugh to and be like, oh yeah, he's being a character over here. Some people probably don't like it. Some people just like, oh, that's just too much. I'm a Squidward over here. There's gonna be a lot of Squidwards out there, guys, with those critics and all that, So, but that's the thing, is like, if you want to be goofy, if you want to be silly because that's who you are, then do it. If people don't like it, then that's not the true people that need to be there, on your channel, liking your stuff, because they don't like it. Cool. Okay. Well, what about all these other people that do? So you can't please everybody. That's the key phrase there. You can't please every single person. I was getting to this, because there's a lot of people that have already on the channel that, oh man, I don't like what Mr. Smiley does because he makes Mickey Mouse noises and all these other things. And I'm just like, well, guys, that's just what I do, that's just, you don't have to be here. Like, you don't have to come and join the Small Gang. It's fine. The Small Gang, the PVC, I've been saying that in a lot of my videos and stuff. People are wondering what the PVC stands for. PVC stands for Positive Vibes Club. So when you come and join the Small Gang, come and join the Positive Vibes Club, guys, and just be here and motivate each other. So negativity is just like, nah, I can't have negativity on the channel. If anybody is negative, then I'm sorry. It's the Positive Vibes Club. It's not the Negative Vibe Club. That's next door. You can go for the NVC, go join them if you want to. But anyways, yeah, we just very motivational on this channel. A lot of live streams that I do, I'm just goofy and just funny, and sometimes I'm probably too much for some people, and I understand, but that's the thing, is there's how many people on this earth? 8 billion people out there, and whoever has access to seeing your stuff, then cool, if people want to come and join, then let's go. But this is just the beginning of our journey, and we've gotten so many different things that we've been trying to do, and some will work, some won't. We're actually bringing back the podcast talk shows. I actually recorded those, and we have them on there, but like literally how we do the talk shows is that since it's a live stream, see, right now I'm just talking in my room, I'm not live or nothing, so I can actually just talk on my mind, but when we do the podcast talk show, I'll get it right one of these days. Just kidding. It's live, so I do talk a lot to chat to make them feel welcomed, that, hey, we're talking in a podcast, but I'm talking to you guys too, taking responses and questions that maybe if are topics that people want us to talk about. So it's kind of more raw, but I may still post those to like SoundCloud and other stuff like that, and we have those on YouTube if you want to go and check out those videos for when we did. We've only done 2 episodes so far. We got some more to come, and it's more on gaming, but it's also more on just whatever. Like, that was our first thing, is to kind of have it on mainly gaming. So what I'm going to start doing that it's just going to be a talk show about whatever about the channel, about other YouTubers and their channels and fun stuff, and gaming can be included. Maybe the new top games that's coming out. So it's not just going to be mainly focused on the games. It's just going to be whatever, comes to mind, and positive vibes, Positive Vibes Club. And I've kind of made that into something really amazing, and a lot of people have now started to kind of implement that and everything, and it's so crazy, it's so wild, and that's why I just tell you guys, just keep going. A lot of people, like I said, like they love how fluent I am on my my voice and how I say things. I used to not be like that. I had a speech impediment when I was a kid, fun fact, yes, and I still have that some today, and I couldn't pronounce certain things. Since my ADHD, it kind of went on top of that, whatever. But now people are like, man, I love your voice. And that's probably one of my greatest traits about me, is about my voice. And so that's why I figured, like, hey, this could be something really awesome for you guys, is because since you guys like to listen to me talk, here you go, motivational stuff. And each week I'll kind of talk about a new different topic. This one was kind of just more talking about the start of Mr. Smiley, of where I've gotten to so far. And here we are, barely a year and a half into what we're doing here, and just amazing, barely, let's see, like it was a year, and then coming up into November it would be 2 years. Wow, 2 years already. But we got a lot to do, a lot to go so far. In a couple years it's going to be more bigger than we probably even imagine now. So you gotta have that mindset, everybody. Just keep going out there and start something fresh, something that's you. Even if it doesn't seem like it's taking its route, like maybe it's not doing anything. Maybe, you've done it for a while and you don't see no change. Well, maybe that's time to do something else. So you just keep on going. You keep on trying different things, and just keep going. Because I almost have given up on it a couple times, actually, when I first started. Because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm at. I don't know what, And it's because I was comparing myself with all the other YouTubers out there that do gaming and other stuff when I didn't know what was inside me. I didn't know my voice. I didn't know my impact that I had on people. And now I do, and it's crazy. But that eventually you will find some kind of thing that makes you stand out. And once you find that, it kind of changes the whole game. It really does, it kind of changes the motivation on it too. Like, it makes you want to do more and have fun with it, So just keep going, find your thing out there, and you'll be surprised of how far you can go. But I hope you guys actually enjoyed this one. I'm going to go ahead and end it up here and everything. My name is Mr. Smiley. If you guys want to come and join the Smile Gang on YouTube, I am actually on YouTube at Mr. Smiley. Again, you can come check me out. My link is in the description. If I can talk, I'll eventually get it one of these days. I do have a stutter problem, but it's all good. But hey, you can come check me out on Twitch as well. We do live streams, all that fun stuff. I am actually on Facebook too. I do post a couple times of like special things that's coming up, since you can't really like post I haven't got there yet on like YouTube and stuff. But like on Facebook, I can actually tell people like, hey, this is what we're gonna do, fun stuff. I am actually on Discord as well. My fun Discord people out there. Link is in the description for that too. You can come and hop on the Discord train, whatever you want to call it, the PVC squad, and we have a lot of fun stuff there. I actually do stay pretty active on that. If you want to get a hold of me, it's probably one of the best ways is on Discord. So that way, if you have any ideas for videos, upcoming things like this, maybe stuff like that too. But comments are always welcome. If you guys want to comment below, maybe another type of thing that you want me to talk about, that'd be so cool. It'd be so amazing. I loved your feedback. That's one of the things about me, is that I love the attention, and I give the attention back. And eventually I know it's going to be pretty hard, but I'm going to do everything I can to put my to put my feedback back to you guys. And I love it. So good, but you can come join the Discord people, all up in here, all that fun stuff though. And here we are on SoundCloud. If you're watching on YouTube and you want to come and join my SoundCloud, the link is in the description as well there. So I'll be doing some more podcast stuff. If maybe you're doing something and you want to just listen, boom, there you go. Have at it. Have some fun with it. More to come. Like I said, every week, these are going to be the motivational videos, podcast things, because I started doing the motivational Mondays and stuff, so I'm going to get back into those as well. So lots of fun. Thank you guys so much for coming and checking it out today, and we're going to end this with a positive send-off. If you're not used to my channel or used to what I'm doing here at the very end of the video, it's something that I do to kind of just give you guys a good boost of energy, of positivity until the next video. So we're going to get our fist up in the air. It's okay if you look like a weirdo. We're all weird here in this world. So, hey, might as well have at it with some positivity at least, right? So we're going to wiggle our fingers like we're feeding the birds. That's what I always used to say. It's all cool. You don't have to wiggle your fingers. But we're going to do a good old send-off here. And until next time, my name is Mr. Smiley. And smiles to you all. Have a great rest of your day, your evening, your night, whatever. And I'll see you guys in the next one. We'll see ya. Bye.
You have been listening to the Mr. Smiley Gaming Podcast. To see more content from Mr. Smiley, check out Mr. Smiley Gaming on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube.